vertical speed. So in a sense, well, it's actually not true because it's now a distance in space, as we'll see shortly. But in order to go backwards in time, in a space-time diagram, what you're doing basically is you're starting forward in time. And to go backwards in time, somehow you gotta get like that. You gotta be doing that sort of thing. And so even though you're going faster than the speed of light here, you're not going backwards in time. But we will talk about this faster than the speed of light and why it's a bit problematic when we talk about relativity simultaneity. Okay, so just one quick thing. So here's a more realistic picture. In this picture, what we've done is we've had Alice at rest and Bob moving at a constant velocity, and then instantly, so he's moving at, I don't know, like 4/5 the speed of light to the right, and then in 0 time, he's then moving at 4/5 the speed of light in the other direction. Can you imagine what sorts of g-forces he might be experiencing during that slight interval there? Okay, so to make this a bit more realistic, we might draw a picture like this. So Bob starts out on the Earth at rest. Okay, so he's in his rocket ship on the launch pad at rest. So his world line is vertical. And then he starts to pick up speed. So what's going to happen to his world line? It's going to curve. Okay, when he's at 0 velocity, it's vertical. And as his velocity picks up, it's going to bend over like this. Okay, so it's going to curve like this. Okay, so while his world line is curving like this, that means he's accelerating. Okay, the tilt of his world line starts at 0, gets more and more tilted as he approaches the speed of light. Okay, so at this point here, so this is accelerate here. Okay, now that he's at the 4/5 speed of light or whatever, he shuts off his rocket engine and he coasts. Okay, so what's his world line look like? Straight line, so there's no acceleration, straight line. So here he coasts up to the planet, and then he fires his retro rocket and he slows down. So what happens to his world line? Okay, so it used to be 4/5 speed of light like this, it's going to tilt back to 0. Okay, so to tilt back to 0, the slope changes from 4/5 the speed of light down to 0. Okay, so here he's decelerating. Okay, now he's at the planet, and he spends a bit of time at that planet. He spends a couple days with his world line. Just straight up. Okay, so this is his visit. And he just stands on the planet like this, not moving. Looking around for a couple days. And then he gets back in his rocket, and he then what? Okay, so he accelerates, so his speed needs to now go from 0 up to some velocity back. So it starts tilting over like this, so here he's accelerating back. And then constant velocity he coasts. And at this point, he sees the Earth coming up at him at 4/5 speed of light, the speed there of light breaks. So he fires his retro rockets, he reduces his speed, and then he's on here. Okay. So this is a more realistic trip. This is a trip that involves acceleration. Okay, but special relativity doesn't have a problem with acceleration. Okay, so from Alice's point of view, here's her clock ticking away, tick, 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 tick. The years go on. And for Bob, what we see is this. When he first starts out, his world line is nearly parallel with Alice's. And so when 1 year elapses for Alice, nearly 1 year elapses for Bob, and so on and so forth. Okay, but when we get to this part of it here, where his world line is pretty tilted compared to Alice's, there's a lot of time dilation happening. So when 1 year elapses for Alice, much less than 1 year will elapse for Bob. Okay, so his world line, the ticks of his clock might look something like this. So I could just say 1 year between there and there, whereas it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years for Alice. Okay, and then here, when his world line starts ticking back, being vertical, the ticks on his clock start going back to match Alice's. So now when he's at rest on that planet, then when 1 year elapses for Alice, 1 year elapses for Bob. And then he takes off again, and the tick marks start to spread out again. Here, this might just be 1 year, that's 5 years for Alice, and then back. Okay? And then to figure out the total elapsed time for Bob, just remember his watch is just like an odometer. We just count up all these tick marks over here. Okay? And we'll find that really there are less tick marks than for Alice, and so Bob has aged less. And in general, if we have a curved trajectory like that, to figure out how much time, so here's space according to Alice, here's time according to Alice on C. Okay, here's Bob inside some spaceship, which is moving around, moving this way, then that way, and so on, in her space. Okay, so what we do is we just divide Bob's world line into a whole bunch of small little straight line segments, and then we make a little triangle. And each one of those little, we make a triangle whose hypotenuse is each one of those little segments. Okay, so to figure out the amount of time elapsed for Bob inside his spaceship between that event and that event, when Bob is at this location at this time, versus when he's at a further out location at a later time according to Alice, we just take the square of this minus the square of this, square root. And that gives us the amount of time elapsed for Bob during that little segment. Okay, then we look at the next segment, we draw another right triangle like that. We say, well, how far did Bob go during that time? Now it's a triangle like that. How much time did it take according to Alice? Well, that's that side. We take that squared minus that squared, and that gives us that distance, and so on. What kind of mathematics do you think we would need to calculate total time? Calculus, integral calculus. Okay, so if you know calculus, you can do those sorts of calculations. The point here is that special relativity has no trouble with accelerated observers, and it's very important that that's the case, and we will see so tomorrow. We will see an example of a really cool example of accelerated observers and what that means in terms of general relativity. Yeah. Yeah, so the acceleration is associated with slowing of time, yeah.
So the acceleration is time looks okay.
No, it's just the magnitude of the acceleration, it doesn't matter the direction. And we'll take an example of an accelerated disturber tomorrow, for whom time is moving more slowly relative to a non-accelerated disturber. Yeah. So, actually, I just have to show you.
We now have a data connection between us and both. We have we also have the combination.
Yes, we have both.
Because it's the same method. Others would be looking at both choices that we would see as we have a path, or we shouldn't see what we have another path. She both see and the combination.
Yes. So that's a great exercise that you can look at. So it asks you to draw. So here's your twin paradoxic data. Here's your twin going out and going down and all that. And it asks you to consider setting light signals. Alice setting light signals over to Bob, and vice versa. And how many light signals they receive in a given amount of time related to just time dilation and this stuff pushing. You'll see all that. Yeah, but we can't really talk about that properly until we talk about relativity simultaneity, which, yeah. So, very good.
So here's the other design having the same rate, but what if I not have the same rate and different gravitational fields?
Yes, but this right here, so we use the words Alice is on Earth and Bob is on planet X, but what we really mean is Alice is empty space over here, and Bob is a point of empty space over there. So the entire thing happens in empty space. So we're not going to, as soon as you put matter in there, that matter warps the space and it changes everything. And it's not about general relativity. So we're just restricting to special relativity. So we're ignoring the gravitational effects due to the mass of the Earth and the planet. Okay, so I want to get to relativity simultaneity. That's really, really cool stuff. Okay, so are we almost on the blackboard? We're not actually over. Something? Oh, here's one. Okay. So let's talk about synchronizing clocks. Okay, this is a very important concept, very basic concept. Okay, so suppose that I've got two clocks, and I put one of the clocks over here, and one of the clocks at the other end of the table. Okay, so here are my little clocks. Okay, so I go, there's one clock. So if I can just stand up. Okay, there's one clock, and there's the other clock. How do I synchronize those clocks? Yeah, bring them together? Okay, so let's do that. So here's one clock, and just to make it a little better, we'll put a clock on it. Okay, so there's our clock. There's one clock, and here's the other clock. Okay, so I brought two clocks together, and then I make sure they're reading exactly the same time, and then what? And then what? Okay, so I'm starting to both at the same time. The both stop watches are like this, right? Now what? So I want to have clocks that are separated, but they're synchronized. Equal. So people go to the table at the time. On your table, and then okay, so that's right. Okay, so let's just go with this. Suppose with this for a second. Suppose I have these two clocks, and I make sure that they both read zero at the same time. And so I put one down here, and I go over here. Okay, are they synchronized? No. Why not? It's acceleration. So if you were to walk by, synchronizing as you're walking, so you can actually accelerate while you're moving. So let's do that. So there's one, and here's the other one. I'm moving at a constant velocity. Okay, so as we pass by, we zero the clocks. Okay, and I walk over here, and then you got it. So there it is. Okay, so is that okay? Okay, so let's draw that in a space-time diagram again. So that clock never moved. That clock was at rest the whole time. The other clock was came in like this at a constant velocity. We zeroed both of them, 0 and 0, and then it went like this, and then it decelerated. So there's a slight curvature there, and then it was at rest on the table. Okay, so that clock was at rest. So what was it doing? Tick, 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 tick. Okay, this clock over here, during the time that I was walking, even though it was constant velocity, what was happening here? Was time moving at the same rate here for this clock as for this one? So there's time dilation, right? So the spacing between these tick marks is greater. So think like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 seconds left here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's a little bit of split second here from the deceleration of the something like that. Okay, that's what we do. So basically, when that clock reads 7, that clock reads 4, and so they're no longer synchronized. Yeah, you can start in the middle. Okay, okay, so we start them all both in the middle like this, side by side, symmetrical stopwatches, and then we have two people who walk in exactly symmetrical fashion, and then put them down. Okay, excellent. So we start like this, and we synchronize them both together, and then we accelerate. One goes this way, then goes at constant velocity, then decelerate, put the rest on the table, and then we have exactly symmetrical. The other side, yeah, and that'll work. So then we'll be synchronized. Okay, is there another way to do it? Suppose I want to synchronize a clock that's located here, and one that's located on Pluto. Right here. Okay, so another option is to just say, okay, we've got two clocks that are equally random time, but they're decimal clocks. And then we know the distance between, so when one clock reads exactly 0, I send a light signal over, and we know that the light pulse is at 300 meters per second, we pre-measure the distance. And so when this guy gets that signal, this guy says, oh, I have to set my clock to 0, except I need to count the timeline. Maybe it takes 1 second for light to get from there to there, so I set my clock actually for 1 instead of 0 when I receive that signal. Okay, so that's another way to do it. So there are lots of ways to do this. So another way to do it is we just put a light bulb here exactly in the center, and then shut it on, and then light goes in either direction, and then as soon as those receive light signal, they zero their clock. Okay, so that's this kind of a picture, where both clocks are being arrested the whole time, and there's a little flash bulb right in the middle there. So here's an event that happens bang like that, and light signals go out at 45 degrees in both directions. And when they receive those light signals, they zero their clocks, and then forevermore, those clocks are the same. Things like that. Okay, so there's lots of ways to do this. The way that we're going to actually do it, it can be really convenient for us. It's slightly different. Okay, so what we'll do is this. We'll say, so just let's start the picture first in space. So the picture in space is something like this. We have Alice, and we have Alice prime, and what we do is Alice sends a light signal over to Alice prime. We reflect it back like this. Okay, and what we know is that according to principle T2, we know that the speed of light on the way there and on the way back is the same. Okay, and so let's draw this in a space-time diagram. Okay, so here is Alice, and here's Alice prime, and so you have the 12 there. Okay, so let's see here. So Alice sends a light signal over to Alice prime, who then reflects it back like that. And let's suppose that Alice receives, let's say this is CT. That's CT, A prime. And this is measured. So let's suppose that, this is also 45 degrees filters. Okay, so this is the situation here. So Alice just sends this light signal, goes to Alice prime, and it comes back, and the total round trip time is 12 on her clock. Can you tell how far away Alice prime is with that information? How far away is Alice prime? How far away is Alice prime? Instead of the 6. 1, 6, 6, 6. Okay, 6, that's 1, 6. It goes both ways. Okay, so we know the distance is 6. Okay, and because these are 45 degree triangles, so that's 6. This is 6. And this is 6. 6 is long. Okay, so basically, it takes 12 units of time to go there and back, and then for 15 units of time to go there. And so it basically 6 units of distance. Okay, that's what the radar right here. Okay, that's how you determine distances relative. Okay, like a radar right, they determine where an airplane is. You send out a radio wave, the radio wave goes out, hits the airplane, reflects back, you time how long it takes to get there and back, and you divide by 2, and you determine the distance of the airplane. Okay, well, we need to getting over a meter stick, like 1 meter stick next to that one. Okay, so let's look. Can you see how we might be able to use this situation to synchronize the clocks as well as measuring distance? Okay, so I'll let you think about this. This is, I'll just want to write down the radar right here. Okay, and that's how you measure distances also, well, for distant objects. Okay, so how we can use this for clock synchronization? This event over here, when Alice's clock reads 6, what should Alice prime's clock read? 6. You should also read 6. Okay, so for Alice and Alice prime, who are directly respect to each other, they can claim that these two events are simultaneous. If they had a light source in the middle, which sent a light signal both of them like that, they would find those two events are simultaneous. Okay, so the way that Alice and Alice prime can use this procedure here to synchronize their clocks is Alice just sends a light signal out. It gets Alice prime, she reflects it back. She takes the total time, well the total time is 12. She divides that total time by 2, and she says, this is 6. So, and then after the experiment is over, after when she receives the light signal, she yells out to Alice prime and says, hey, when you got that light signal, your clock should have read 6. Okay, and then so Alice prime says, oh, my clock read, maybe 10 when I received that signal. So what I do is I move my clock back 4 units. Okay, and then forevermore those clocks are synchronized. Okay, does that make sense? Are we clear about that? Okay. So one of the things about this is this is a physical process. And anything that we do in nature, anything that we're always subject to the laws of nature. And so this process of synchronizing the clocks is a physical process that uses a physical phenomenon of light. And we know something about that physical phenomenon. According to principle T2, whatever light is, it moves at a speed that depends on the motion of the source. And in this case, both sources, both Alice and Alice prime, which are reflected, are at rest. And so it's sort of a trivial thing, but we do know that. Also, it applies, this is the important point, this physical process, according to the principles of special relativity, principles T1 and T2, applies equally well to moving observers. A pair of observers who are moving with respect to Alice and Alice prime. Okay, so suppose we had, say, Bob and Bob prime at two ends of a platform like this, and this platform is moving with some speed v relative to Alice and Alice prime. can use exactly the same process. Send the light signal, Bob sends the light signal to Bob Prime, it comes back, Bob divides that time by 2, the total of that time by 2, and then yells up to Bob Prime that your clock should have read blah blah when blah blah, right? Okay? And the reason we can do that is we have principle P1. Principle P1 tells us that any pair of inertial observers, say this pair compared to this pair, moving at uniform relative velocity, are equally entitled to consider themselves to be at rest. Okay, and then by principle P2, we know that if you're at rest, the speed is c, independent motion of source. Okay, yeah. That's exactly right. Okay, so let's look at that. So all of this gets interesting now when we look at the Bob and Bob Prime clock synchronization experiment or process from the Alice and Alice Prime point of view. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so I want you to be convinced that this is valid for Bob and Bob Prime to do that. So according to the principles of relativity, so we're trying to understand the nature of the universe based on these principles. And if the things that we predict based on those principles turn out to be true, then we gain some confidence that those principles might actually be a fact of the universe. If it turns out to be wrong, well, then the principles are wrong. So it's very important to understand that these principles are not laws of nature. I mean, they're just guesses, right? I mean, they could be wrong. They're subject to experiment. That's very important. So, but what we do in physics is we guess. We guess some certain principles or some certain equations, and then we try it out, and then we see how far we can get with those. And as I just say, so far, these principles are the most accurately, one of the most accurately measured principles in all of physics. They measure with extreme precision. And so here's our situation then. So we've got Alice, we've got Alice Prime, and they're doing clock synchronization procedures and rearranging, determining the distance, all that kind of stuff. That's happening here. And we've also got Bob and Bob Prime, who are moving with some velocity v on their little platform relative to Alice and Alice Prime. Okay, but from their point of view, they're equally entitled to consider themselves to be at rest. Well, let me just sort of sketch something like this. So this little dashed line here is basically Bob and Bob Prime's space, which is moving with that platform. Okay? And the bigger dashed line here is sort of like Alice. We call this AA Prime space. Okay, so this whole space, the blackboard, is the Alice and Alice Prime space for which things are at rest. And here's the Bob and Bob Prime space. And Bob and Bob Prime are moving in the Alice and Alice Prime space. But Bob and Bob Prime, they're equally entitled to consider themselves to be at rest, and they have their own space. This is the Bob and Bob Prime space. And so Bob and Bob Prime and their space, which is moving with them, is moving through the Alice and Alice Prime space. Okay? Now, in the Bob and Bob Prime space, if we were inside that space with Bob and Bob Prime, those guys are equally entitled to consider themselves to be at rest. All they're doing is they're standing at two ends of the platform, and they apply this clock synchronization routine. And from their point of view, what does it look like? It looks like this. Here's Bob Prime. Bob sends a light signal over to Bob Prime. Bob Prime reflects it back. So Bob sends a light signal over to Bob Prime. He gets reflected back. Bob looks at the amount of time, the total amount of time of that. And what does he do? Divide by 2. He takes that total time, whatever this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, divides that by 2, 1, 2, 3.5, and he concludes that this event, that point in space-time, is simultaneous with that event. Okay, so simultaneous in the sense of this. Okay, these two events are simultaneously happening. For me, they're happening at the same instant of time. Okay, so when I click them like this, sure, there's I'm at rest with respect to the air, and it takes time for those sound waves to get to my ears, so I can hear, but it's obviously equal time. Okay, I'll hear at the same time, and they're happening simultaneously. Okay, so these two events are then simultaneous. We'll call them, say, P and T prime. These two events are simultaneous for Bob and Bob Prime. Okay, so that's important. They're simultaneous. Okay, so now the interesting question is, this is all for August. The interesting question is, what does this experiment look like? What does this procedure look like from the Alice and Alice Prime point of view? Okay, Alice and Alice Prime see Bob and Bob Prime moving through their space, but they can still, and they see their light beams and all that stuff, so they can observe that experiment happening, or that procedure happening. Okay, so let's draw that. Okay, so there's Alice and Alice Prime. We're taking the point of view now that Alice and Alice Prime are at rest, so their world lines are vertical. They see Bob